Have you ever wondered why it seems so difficult to organize your things, even when you really want to? What if I told you that this struggle might be tied to past experiences with narcissistic individuals in your life? Welcome to another eye-opening video on the hidden impacts of narcissism on our lives. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects many survivors of narcissistic abuse, the seemingly inexplicable inability to organize your belongings and personal spaces. This is a subject that deeply resonates with many of you, and I promise that by the end of this video, you'll have a fresh perspective on this daily struggle. Have you ever felt frustrated by your inability to keep your home tidy, even with the best of intentions? Or maybe you've wondered why you feel so overwhelmed when trying to organize your belongings? If you answered yes to either of these questions, know that you're not alone, and there's an explanation for it. In this video, we'll explore the surprising connection between narcissistic abuse and difficulties with organization. We'll uncover the psychological mechanisms behind this phenomenon, and most importantly, offer practical strategies to overcome this challenge. Get ready for a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. Narcissistic abuse leaves deep marks on the psyche of its victims, affecting areas of life that may seem unrelated to the trauma. Difficulty with organization is one of those unexpected, yet understandable consequences when you look closer. Imagine growing up in an environment where your needs, desires, and even your existence are constantly invalidated. Where control over your personal space is frequently violated, and any expression of your individuality is punished. This is the typical scenario for a child raised by narcissistic parents. In this context, organizing your belongings becomes much more than just a household chore. It transforms into an assertion of identity, a declaration of autonomy, which can unconsciously be perceived as a threat to the status quo established by the narcissist. One of the most insidious aspects of narcissistic abuse is the way it instills a deep fear of being seen in its victims. Paradoxically, while the narcissist constantly seeks attention and admiration, they teach their victims to become invisible, to not take up space. This fear of visibility manifests in subtle ways, and disorganization can be one of them. Keeping your belongings in disorder can be an unconscious way of hiding, of not drawing attention to yourself or your possessions. Think about it, when your things are organized, they become more visible, more defined. They occupy a clear and delineated space. For someone who has learned that being noticed is dangerous, this visibility can be unconsciously threatening. Narcissistic abuse often involves excessive control over the victim. Paradoxically, this can lead to two extremes when it comes to organization, either an obsessive need for control, manifested through excessive organization, or a complete aversion to control, resulting in chaos and disorganization. For many survivors, disorganization may be an unconscious form of rebellion against the control that was exerted over them. It's as if, by allowing their things to remain disordered, they're saying, "See? You can't control me. Not even I can control myself." Another crucial factor in this equation is the emotional burden that objects carry for victims of narcissistic abuse. Every item can be tied to memories, both positive and negative, making the process of organizing emotionally exhausting. Imagine trying to organize a drawer full of childhood memories when each object evokes conflicting feelings of love, anger, sadness, and confusion. It's no wonder many victims end up avoiding the task altogether, preferring to leave things as they are rather than face this emotional roller coaster. Dissociation is a common defense mechanism among victims of abuse, especially narcissistic abuse. It's a mental disconnection that helps a person cope with traumatic experiences. However, this same dissociation can make organizing physical space difficult. When someone is dissociated, it can be hard to stay present and focused enough to complete organizing tasks. A person might start to organize a drawer, only to realize an hour has passed with no real progress, lost in thoughts or memories. Narcissistic abuse often results in severely damaged self-esteem. Victims may internalize the message that they don't deserve good things, including a well-organized and pleasant space. This feeling of, "I don't deserve it," can manifest as reluctance to invest time and energy into organizing their space. After all, why bother creating a beautiful and organized environment if you don't feel worthy of it? Paradoxically, many victims of narcissistic abuse develop perfectionistic tendencies. This may seem contradictory to disorganization, but in reality, it's one of the main causes of it. The perfectionism instilled by the narcissist creates an impossible standard. The victim may think, "If I can't organize everything perfectly, then I shouldn't even start." This all-or-nothing thinking leads to procrastination and eventually to chaos. Growing up in a narcissistic environment often means growing up without healthy models of organization and personal space management. If the parents were either disorganized or obsessively organized, the child never had the opportunity to learn balanced and healthy habits. Without these models, victims of narcissistic abuse can feel lost when trying to establish their own systems of organization in adulthood. It's like trying to learn a language without ever hearing someone speak it fluently. This fear can manifest in various areas of life, including personal organization. The logic behind this is complex, but it's usually related to the fear of attracting envy or anger from the narcissist or the fear of surpassing the abuser and, in doing so, losing the family connection, no matter how toxic. Disorganization can be a form of self-sabotage, a way to stay small and safe. Now that we have a better understanding of the psychological roots of disorganization in victims of narcissistic abuse, let's explore some strategies to overcome this challenge. Therapy, professional help is invaluable for processing trauma and developing new patterns of thought and behavior. Mindfulness practices can help combat dissociation and keep you focused on organizational tasks. Self-compassion, be kind to yourself. Remember, disorganization isn't a character flaw, but a consequence of trauma. Small steps, start with small, manageable tasks. Celebrate each small victory. Reframe your organization, try to view organization not as a chore, but as an act of self-care and self-love. Set boundaries, learn to say no to external demands that might overwhelm you and make it harder to maintain organization. Create a personalized system, develop an organizational system that works for you, not based on external or perfectionistic standards. Ask for help, don't be afraid to ask friends or professionals for help. Sometimes having someone by your side can make the process less overwhelming. The journey from narcissistic abuse to organization and balance is complex and challenging, but also incredibly liberating. Every organized drawer, every tidy space, is an affirmation of your autonomy, a declaration of your worth, and a reclaiming of your space in the world. Remember, disorganization doesn't define you. It's simply a symptom of past experiences, not a reflection of your worth or potential. With understanding, compassion, and the right tools, it's possible to overcome this challenge and create an environment that truly reflects who you are and who you're becoming. If you resonated with anything in this video, know that you're not alone. Thousands of people are on similar journeys of healing and self-discovery. Share your experiences in the comments because your story might be exactly what someone needs to hear today. And remember, organization isn't just about things, it's about creating space in your life for growth, peace, and joy. You deserve that. You're capable of that. And with every small step, you're moving toward a fuller, more authentic life. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.